Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today I'm doing something a little bit different. Normally in my intros I always have my face done and we know exactly what the look's gonna be like. But I decided to do something a little bit different. I've gotten so much new makeup lately and I have not had a lot of time to really play in makeup, create new looks, try things out, and that has really been bumming me out. I'm the type of person who really likes to plan things out before I film a video and try things so I could give you guys a good review and all that kind of stuff, but lately time has been so limited that I just thought that I just need to sit down and film. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be planned out, it'll be more like first impressions, but I just want to be able to bring you guys something. So this is going to be a little bit more raw. It is going to be a talk through, so it's going to be a longer video. So I know a lot of people prefer shorter videos, so that is your warning right now. Grab a drink, grab a snack, watch this as you're cooking dinner or folding laundry or you know, doing something like that. That's usually what I like to do when I watch longer videos, but I really hope you guys will enjoy this video and stay along for the journey with me. On that note, if you can hear banging, which I'm sure you can because it echoes in my house, that is something else I want to mention. My husband is renovating our kitchen, so he is working on that. That has been part of the reason why I've been very limited on time to film and work, because I've been kind of helping him on and off. And so I was like, I just need to film, and so there's going to be a little bit of noise. I hope it's not too distracting for you. It'll probably be more distracting for me than anything, but we're going to try to go past that. Like I said, this is going to be a very raw video, so there is that disclaimer. But anyways, this video is going to be filled with a lot of new products, new in general, like for the holiday season, and then just new products to me that I have not yet tried yet. So it's going to be full of first impressions, full of new products, and we're just gonna roll along with it. Now I have a lot of products from Urban Decay. I got a couple packages recently from them. This one that's filled with all their brand new all-nighter concealers, which I have tried once and I'm already in love. We'll get to that later in the video. And then just literally last night I got this palette from Urban Decay. This is their new distortion palette. Dropped it, the box. This is their new distortion palette and it is stunning. So I was like, I want to do something with this and get that up ASAP. I did ask on my Instagram stories what color you guys want to see, and by majority everyone suggested the green shade, so we are gonna go with that. I don't know what I'm gonna do if we're gonna do something with the green shade. I have products from Ebates Cosmetics and just a few other just random new things that I just figured I would throw into this video. So with all that being said, I'm gonna stop my rambling now and we're gonna go ahead and just get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off with my brows. I do have some brand new brow products to me. I think these came out, I don't know, it's been a couple months now. I got a bunch of packages from Ebates Cosmetics and I've only been slowly using them here and there and incorporating them in videos here and there randomly, but there are several products that I still have not even touched, not even used, still in boxes that I just pulled out today. So among those boxes I got some brand new brow products from Ebates Cosmetics. So I've got their Brow Power Pomade, their Universal Transforming Taupe Brow Powder, and then one of their Brow Power brushes. So I'm going to be using all of those, but I'm going to go ahead and start off first by outlining my brows like I always do, just to kind of get the shape. I just find this very much so easier when I'm doing my brows. I already got the shape down. If I kind of color outside the lines, it's easy to clean up and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. So if anybody's curious, I just used this brow concealer duo from Beauty Junkies. It's been my go-to lately, and I think Ebates Cosmetics also has like a brow concealer like that, but I don't know if I have it. I feel like I used to, but I don't know where it is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start dipping right in. Ooh, it's very, very pigmented. I just kind of swipe my brush in here and there's like a lot of stuff kind of falling out, so it's kind of softer. We'll see how this applies. And I'm basically just going to be outlining my brows and then I will kind of fill them in. Alright, once I got them filled in to my liking, I'm just going to kind of use this spoolie here just to kind of brush through it, and this kind of brushes out any excess product. and allows me to see any spots that I may have missed as well. But I think I've got them filled in to my liking. I do like this color a lot. I will say though that the powder is very, very soft. So every time I kind of dipped in with this very stiff brush, a lot just kind of came up and came out. Not to zoom in and show you guys up close like how much product I've already dipped into and lost with this. So and that's kind of a downside for me. I feel like I'm gonna end up using this a lot quicker because so much kicks up and breaks off. And yeah, I've only done this one brow, and there's a good chunk of product missing now from using it. So I don't know, depending on the price of this, which it probably is a little bit more up there, it may or may not be worth it to you. But anyways, now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and take this brush, which is a dual-ended brush from Ebates Cosmetics. This is the Heavenly Luxe No Tucks dual eyeshadow brush. I love this. I always use it for my brows, and I just clean up right like this, and I just bring that concealer kind of down on my eyelids, and that's usually the base I use for my eyeshadow. And if I want something more precise, I take the other end, which I love, and just kind of really swipe up under there and clean up that concealer to make sure there is no, it's not too thick or caked on under there. It's just really nice and cleaned up. And now that I've done this one on camera, I'm going to do this one off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, got them both done. And so the brow pomade is actually, when you think of pomade, I think of like, you know, Anastasia's pomade, and it's kind of like the jar and it's colored, but this is more like a brow gel, and it's clear. And I usually do not put on brow gel until after all of my face is completely done, just because I feel like as I put on powders and different things like that, a lot of those powders kind of settle into my brow hairs, and when I've already got gel in there, it settles on top of it and you really can't get it out. So I like to do this step last. But I will say just about these products, I do like them a lot. I feel like they were easy to use. This powder is very creamy and easily blendable. I really like the brush. I like how stiff it is. It was really easy to get a lot of product into my brows and disperse it well, whereas sometimes some brushes are so thin that you, which some people like, you just get like this little like line, you could create lines with them. I don't do that. I just totally fill mine in. So I like a nice stiff thick brush that really just disperses the product and kind of like colors in the lines. That's just how I do my brows. So I like it for that, but you can still create like a nice crisp line. Like I line and kind of arch up my brows, and I felt like it was really easy to work with. So I like it. No complaints about the brush at all. As far as the brow powder, I like the color a lot. It's that Universal Taupe, and I use their Universal Taupe Brow Power pencil, and I love that. It is one of my favorite brow products, and this is really good. It's creamy, but like I said, there was a lot of product that I feel like went to waste and kind of kicked up, and I wasn't being, my first initial like dip in there probably was a little bit too hard, but after I realized how much it came up, I was still trying to be very gentle, and I still kind of got up a lot of product. So that is a downside of this, but other than that, I mean, I like it. First impressions. Okay, with brows done, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my eyes. I already know we are going to be using the Distortion palette. Look how pretty it is. And the idea behind this palette is that it comes with these shades. There's only one matte that I can tell, and it's the black one called Blackout. The rest are kind of a metallic or shimmery. And then it comes with these top shades, which are all like iridescent shades that are transformative to the other shades. They will transform any other shadow that you put on top of it. So I already know by request of my Instagram stories that people wanted to see a look with that green shade, Hot Box, so that's what I'm going to be doing. But since this doesn't have a lot of options for mattes and transition shades, I am going to just pull out some of my trusty NBA Cosmetics shadows and my palettes here. I have a couple of them that I'm going to use because I think I want to use this orange shade as part of my transition too. So I'm going to go ahead and just start that, and I'm going to be applying, I don't always do this, but I used to do this a lot, where I would apply a kind of flesh tone or cream shade all over my lid just to kind of prep it for all the shadows, and I do already still have that concealer there that we used earlier, so I'm just gonna kind of sweep this shade all over my lid just to kind of set it all and prep. And this is the shade in the Nude. And next up, I'm going to go into this shade. It's called Tranquil from Ebates Cosmetics, and that's just going to be just the start of my like transition and crease, just to kind of get something there started. I kind of think I'm going to go ahead and just do like a halo eye, because that's kind of like my safe place when I don't know what to do, and I'm just trying something out. A halo eye is kind of my go-to, really something easy that I can create and I know it will for the most part turn out well. And I think that'll actually be a really great idea as well for the palette we're going to be using. Oh, look at this. I just hit pan on this shade. I feel like I hit a milestone and we did that together. I use that shade all the time. Anyway, so what I was saying was the halo eye will be really great too, because I'll be able to use that green shade and then use one of the transforming shades for the center kind of halo effect. So you'll be able to see the difference with what it does. All right, now that I've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and go in with a slightly smaller blending brush. This is the one I was using. It's pretty fluffy, and then this is the one I'm going to use. Both of these, by the way, are from Beauty Junkies. They are really great brushes. I really recommend. They're very affordable and very comparable to Sigma. So anyways, I'm going to go in with Tiger Lily right here and just kind of start putting that in my crease. And I'm going to go in slow because I don't think I've used this shadow before, and I really not quite sure how much it packs on and applies. So I'm just going to take it real slow and easy, which is smart to do in general when using any really colorful shades. You don't want to go in heavy-handed because it's always easier to add more rather than take away. So I'm just going to go back in with that same brush, no additional, the brush I used with Tranquil, the fluffy one, and just kind of blend a little bit more just to really diffuse the color. Now we're going to go ahead and go in with the Distortion palette. And then I am going to go in with that green shade, which is called Hot Box. And I'm kind of nervous. I don't know how this is going to apply, if I should apply some actual primer or not, but we're just going to go in with it. I am going to be using my Royal & Langnickel BX80 brush. This is what I usually use with my glitters. Oh, that's applying really, really well. And pack that all over the lid. That is so pretty. I'm actually, I don't know why I'm surprised, but I'm surprised that it's going on so nicely. Not sure how I feel about it with this orange shade, but you know what? Oh well. That's what happens when we don't plan ahead. We just go off the cuff. But I think I might bring it up just a little bit, and I want to get it more precise, so I'm going in with another brush. This is more of a flat brush, so that way I can kind of bring this shadow up a little bit higher and a little bit more precise looking. Any other person probably would have done like concealer to kind of carve out the look of this, but I don't do that. I don't know why. I just feel like whenever I've tried to do that, the concealer just gets too cakey on my eyelids. Maybe it's because I have drier eyelids and I just don't know. It just feels like it gets too cakey and dry feeling. I don't know. I'm just weird. But that went on beautifully. I'm so excited with how this looks. Alright, now that that's done, I'm going to go in with a small kind of little tapered blending brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit more of Tiger Lily just to kind of blend and diffuse the shadows out because I don't like how harsh they're looking. So I'm just going to kind of carefully go in there and just really blend those two shadows together so they look a little bit more diffused out and not such a harsh line. Take that blending brush again too. Okay, so I'm liking this a little bit better. It's a little bit softer, which is nice, and then the colors kind of blend and diffuse together and create a kind of like a little bit more of a browny shade, so it really toned down that bright orange, which is still there and is pretty, but it'll tone it down just a little bit more, which is great. All right, so next up is the real dilemma here, because the idea of the distortion palette is that you have these shades here and then you have these kind of like highlighter shades up here that basically transform these shades, and you can mix and match any of them with any of these. Once you put them on top, they will kind of shift and create more of a multi-dimensional color, creating a slightly different color, so you can have all kinds of color combinations that you can think of. And so these basically remind me of kind of the Anastasia Beverly Hills, what is it, Moon Child palette, and the Kat Von D Alchemy palette, where it's like those highlighters that look kind of iridescent and almost white, but they kind of reflect a color once they are applied. So these can obviously be used as brow bone inner corner highlights. You could probably even use them on your cheeks if you want, but of course they are smaller shadow sizes. And they also really remind me a lot, and I have a short video on this on my channel. I will link it for you guys to check out. They remind me a lot of the NBA Cosmetics Eclipse highlighters, which are powder highlights, but they look white in a jar and then shift once you apply them. And you can also use them over top of shadows to transform the shadows into anything. And it's basically like the same thing, except for this is a pressed version and it's in a palette and convenient. So if you are not into buying this whole palette, or if the whole thing doesn't speak to you, but you like the idea of shifter shades, then NBA Cosmetics is another option that is kind of very affordable. I think there's six, and you can buy the collection for $16. I could be wrong, do not quote me, but you can. I'll put the information in the description box for you to check out. I also have a discount code that saves you 15% on those items, so you know, if you, that's an option to look into as well if you're looking for kind of like a shifter kind of a product. Anyways, since I got this palette, obviously I'm going to use this, and I love the idea of this palette. I love that it comes with those and the shadows together, and it's just such a cool idea. I love that they did this. Also, just in general, I gotta say, I love the packaging. This is so beautiful. Of course, anyone who loves Urban Decay is probably gonna you know, be obsessed with this palette. It's absolutely stunning. But also, I just want to mention that they do have this organized by color. So this is kind of a pinky iridescent, and you have two kind of pinker shades here. This is a purple one, then you got a purple and it's like a silver or cool tone purpley silver here. You have the blue iridescent, then blue, and a gray, green. Obviously this is the green we use, and then a black, and then a yellow iridescent shade with an orange and a kind of coppery brown shade here. So they're all very coordinating, making it easy to use. And that goes back to what I was saying originally, the dilemma that we have. So what iridescent shifty shade am I going to use? Now I could just coordinate it and use the green on top of the green, but I kind of feel like that's no fun. Like, it's of course just going to make kind of a lighter green shade. So I want to do something fun and different and use one of the other colors on top of this and see what it creates. And so I'm kind of leaning towards using the purple or the pink tone, and you think I should kind of maybe go with the yellow because it'll go with the orange and the crease, but I don't know. I'm just feeling like that's just going to be a little bit too boring, and I want to do something a little bit more adventurous. So I'm not quite sure. I kind of think, oh man, what should I do? I kind of really want to go into the pinker tone shade, so I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. That one is right here, and it is called Blur. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to go in with a clean BX80 brush, the same one I used with the green shade. and taking that into the shade Blur, and I'm just going to kind of pack it on like this. And there's not a lot of kick up or fallout or anything like that. So I'm just going to apply it right on top, right to the center. We're going to create kind of a halo eye effect and see what this does. I don't feel like it's applying very well. I feel like it's just kind of, I'm not sure what I think of that. I'm going to take another brush, and then if that doesn't really work, I might spray the shade just to see if it sticks a little bit better, but I don't know. I'm not liking how this is laying on top. So I'm going to take that. I took quite a bit. I'm just going to, there, I feel like that's working a little bit better. This probably looks so crazy. I probably should have just stuck to using the green shade over top the green, or the yellow maybe. So I don't think this is looking that pretty. This wasn't a pretty color combination. Oh man. Okay, I really didn't like that, so we're just gonna, I'm gonna like kind of wipe it away a little bit and put some more green right on top of it, just kind of make it like it didn't happen, and we're gonna do this again. Because the more I was doing this, the more I was like, I don't like this at all. And it's not the palette's fault, it's mine, because it's just not a good color combination. So I'm just going to pack some more of that green on top, and then we're going to go in with, I think I want to do the, I should just do the green, but I think I'm going to do the yellow and do that right on top. Actually, you know what? I am going to do the green. I'm going to do the green right on top of it. I'm just going to play it safe, because filming is not the time, I don't think, to be, or maybe it is. Maybe you guys enjoy this. This is a learning process for all of us, so I feel like I like to just play around and see what works first before I come on camera. This is so raw and so out of my comfort zone, so oh my gosh, it's gonna be a learning lesson for all of us. So I am gonna go ahead and just go into the green shade, like I said, Shifty, and I'm going to apply that right over top. I don't even think I'm going to really do it like halo eye effect. I'm just going to kind of put it right over top the green. We're just going to go from there. Alright, and so here you can see the difference. It went from kind of a very smoky dark green to a very pretty iridescent green. And so this is so safe. I feel like so lame because this is really playing it so safe, but I didn't want to look like a crazy person, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera, and then we'll move along. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and move along to my lower lash line. I'm just gonna kind of repeat the steps a little bit. I'm gonna go into the orange. I'm not gonna put on the Tranquil color because I don't think it's necessary, but just gonna kind of pack that on. I actually think I might use the black down on my lower lash line, and then a little bit of that iridescent green. And then get a little bit of black in the outer corner too, just to give it some depth. But we shall see. Alright, this is going. I feel like I look crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into that black shade now. This is the shade Black Out. And I'm gonna just smudge that really close to my lower lash line. Okay, and then I'm just gonna blend it. Get some blend going. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know this already, but for those who might be new to my channel, I am not a makeup artist whatsoever. I don't think I've ever claimed to be. I'm not a makeup artist. I just love makeup. I love playing in it. So, you know, every once in a while I make mistakes, just like any one of you might. I don't always know exactly what I'm doing, and I just play with it until it looks right. I feel like I have a good knowledge of makeup, clearly. That's why I have this channel, and I've been, you know, playing in makeup for years, and I think it's fun, and there's, you know, an element about it that I think comes natural to me in a way, and I know that for a lot of people makeup can be very intimidating, and a big part of me wanting to start my channel was just showing that it can be easy in a sense to create fun looks and creative looks. And you don't have to be a makeup artist to do that, because I never was, and I just kind of went for it, and I always wanted to just be able to show people how I did it. It might not be the right way or the perfect way, or, you know, I still will make mistakes here and there. I've still got a lot of improving to do, but it's kind of a journey and you guys are taking it along with me. And I don't think I've ever really mentioned this here on my channel or anything, but I just thought, you know, since I was just thinking about it right now as I'm creating this look and it's kind of getting crazy, and, you know, I make mistakes here and there, and just that's just how it goes. You guys don't always see that part because, like I said, I always like to come prepared. If I'm going to film something for you and give you a tutorial, you know, I want to be able to offer that and give you guys the correct way, or the, you know, the version of me that's already learned from my mistakes. That way you can learn from me too, but it's nice that you can still also learn from my mistakes in a live sense. You see me making mistakes and see how I fix it and how I correct it, and hopefully you don't make those same ones or whatever, but it's also just fun so you can see that you don't have to know everything, you don't have to get it right, and we can still kind of work through the look, and hopefully this is gonna, you know, turn out well. I feel like it's pulling together though, and I'm enjoying this, so I really hope you guys are too. Okay, so that palette does not have a kind of brow bone highlight or cleanup shade, as I like to call it. I do a cleanup. I say this all the time, is I kind of go back in with a, you know, flesh tone kind of color or a cream tone color, just something to do a little bit of a clean up on my brow bone. And sometimes I leave it like that for my highlight, and I don't apply like a shimmery highlight for my brow bone. I just simply do this, and it just kind of helps to kind of diffuse the color down a little bit, because I'm kind of like weird about shadows going up too high or just looking too harsh. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do, is just do a little bit of cleanup along my brow bone. And then I do think I will go back into that palette though and use like that yellowy iridescent shade and put that in my inner corner. So I'm just cleaning up here. And I always usually come down along my lower lash line as well and just kind of clean that up as well. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with that yellow shade. It's called Bleach. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that to the inner corners of my eyes. Ooh. Over your bare skin, it actually packs a punch. But like over the shadow, it was really, it took a bit for it to really adhere and apply over another shadow. But over your bare skin, yeah, it's like, bam. Or maybe I was just using the wrong brush. Right. Alright, I think we're done with the eyes for now. I'm going to move on to the rest of my face. And then we'll probably go back to the eyes because I like to finish my eyes last. I put on mascara and all that stuff after I do the rest of my face. Again, same thing with my brows. I feel like once I have mascara on and then I put powders on my face, those powders stick to my mascara and it just looks wonky. So that's why I do that. Okay, so I'm going out tonight, so I am going to go ahead and apply a primer to my face. Normally on everyday average days I don't apply a primer. I just usually save it for a special occasion when I want my makeup to last a long time. I don't have any new primers, so I am going to just go in with my very favorite. This is the Makeup Forever Hydrating Primer. And I feel like my makeup breaks up the most right here, so that's where I'm kind of focusing it, and it also breaks up a little bit on my forehead. I really like these primers from Makeup Forever because they don't feel like primers, that silicone-y feel like most primers feel like. These ones kind of go in and feel like a lotion, and I love that. And they really make my makeup last, so All right, now while I'm letting that dry, I like to let it set for a minute before I put on foundation. I'm gonna go, I know I said I was done with my eyes, but I forgot about this. I'm gonna put some eyeliner. This is the Makeup Forever Aqua XL eyeliner in the shade M10, just a matte black shade. So next up for my foundation, I'm going to be using my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation stick. I did get this. This is something new, and I thought maybe it was kind of like a foundation or a BB cream, which BB creams are kind of like a foundation, but not. But this is the Gerard Cosmetics BB Plus Illumination Facial Cream. It's definitely more of like a liquid highlight. I tested it on my hand first, and oh my gosh, it is so shimmery. So I definitely don't want to use just that as a foundation, so I'm going to go ahead and put on foundation first, and I'll put a little bit of this over top, I think, as kind of a little bit of a highlight. So I don't want this first impressions trial video to be a full disaster, and plus, like I said, I am going out tonight, so I do want to be somewhat presentable and not be like full face highlighter challenge. So yeah, so I'm just going to be using this because I love this foundation. It is amazing. And I'm just going to be blending it in with my Ebates Cosmetics flat top buffing foundation brush. Now that I got the rest of my face on, I am going to go in with a little bit of this. I got the shade Grace, and I do believe this is part of their holiday collection. Sometimes I'm just put a little bit on my hand right here, and I'm just going to dab it right on my cheekbones here. Oh my gosh, I'm scared because it's so, like, oh, bam, oh my gosh. Look at this. Oh gosh, it's really pretty though, my goodness. Just gonna tap it right there at my temples. Okay, a little bit goes a long way for sure. Oh my gosh. And take my little finger bullet and kind of just help blend some more of that in. It really is beautiful. It gives kind of that glow. That whole lit from within glow. I probably should have just put it underneath, but I just wasn't sure how it was gonna like act underneath my foundation. So I figured I'd just put it on top. Okay, seriously, that is so pretty. I really like it. I'm actually really glad I put it over top my foundation because I'm sure my foundation probably would have hit it, but or it probably would have mixed well with a liquid foundation. But yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to concealer, and this is another brand new product. I think I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. I feel like I've been sitting here so long I don't remember what I said. But this is the new all-nighter concealer from Urban Decay. This is a waterproof concealer, and those claims are so legit. I mentioned this already today on my Snapchat stories that I got this 2 days ago. I tried it yesterday, and I got to put it to the test, not in the way that I would have wanted to or expected to, but I just simply put a little bit of this concealer on to conceal my dark circles and a few blemishes right here in my T-zone and stuff like that. Kind of blended it out, put a little bit of powder on my face, just slightly, a translucent powder. I actually used the RC Mate powder, and I'm going to be using that in a minute. And then kind of did my brows and put a little eyeliner on, and that was it for the day. I just wanted to, you know, have my face somewhat presentable because I had to go out and about. But it ended up being a very emotional day for me, and I did a lot of crying. And not that I was really trying to put it to the test or really thinking about it, but later on I had realized that as I was crying and I was wiping my face, wiping my tears, I had a napkin that I was using and patting my tears away, and this stayed on my face. I'm amazed when I looked in the mirror later that I still had concealer on. I still had the makeup on, and it blew me away. And even looking at my napkin, I had no makeup residue on it. But literally, I remember patting my eyes and patting the tears away and looking at the tissue, and there was no makeup residue, and I was actually blown away. In the midst of my sadness and emotions, that still caught my attention, and I was pretty wowed by it. And while my makeup didn't look amazing, because I had been crying and wiping my face a lot, but it was still there, and that really impressed me a lot. So I am very much so sold on this concealer. The tube is really beautiful. I've never tried their all-nighter foundation, so I don't know how it compares with that, but one thing I will say is this kind of reminds me a lot of the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. I do feel like the Tarte Shape Tape is a little bit heavier and it dries a lot quicker, whereas this is not as thick or a heavy formulation. But coverage wise, it seems very similar, and I really like it. And I did notice that it didn't that it set really well even without me having to put a powder on it. But I still did it anyways, just in case, because I always do, because as I'm getting older, I'm getting those fine lines, and I feel like concealer is just settling more and more into those lines no matter what I do. I'm just gonna put a little bit down there. And so I'm really sold, and I think it's such a great concealer. And I'm in the shade medium light warm, by the way. Gosh, it's just so good. The concealer dried down and set really well like on its own before I even put powder on it. Like I said, I did put powder on it anyways, just because, as a precaution. But initially, before I put the powder on, it actually set really well, and it wasn't like settling into my fine lines or anything like that. But again, like I said, a precaution, I do still set it, and I did, and I'm going to do that right now with the RCMA No Color Powder. I'm just going to apply it with a sponge. I'm going to bring it right down here too into these smile lines, because that's usually I get stuff settling into those lines as well. It's not pretty. So I didn't ever used to like sit here and just bake my face. I would apply powder pretty heavily to these areas, but then I would just wipe it away pretty quickly. But lately I've been letting it set longer, because I feel like I've been needing it more. I feel like when I do let it set and when I do bake, everything just stays so much better and doesn't settle into my fine lines as much. So I'm gonna look a mess right now for a second. Now while I'm letting that set, I am gonna kind of go over the rest of my face where I didn't put that heavy powder with another new product, a new to me product. And this is the Bye Bye Pores Illumination Powder. I'm assuming that same formula that Ebates Cosmetics has of their Bye Bye Pores powder. They have a loose version and a pressed version, only this is more of an illumination version. It's very finely milled. It feels very similar to their other powders that I've tried, except for this one almost feels a little bit more creamy, and I kind of like that. And then obviously it is an illumination version, so I'm assuming there's going to be a little bit of a shimmer effect to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that around the rest of my face. Never used this before, so I'm not sure how I feel about it or what I think at all, but we shall see together. I am using a very fluffy brush, and I am just kind of like lightly patting, because in my experience, a lot of Ebates Cosmetics powder products can get cakey super quick. If you are not careful, you definitely need a fluffy brush. And I'm trying to look and see if I'm noticing a difference in my pores or not. I don't know. It feels nice on the skin though, but I feel like it's making me look very ghostly. Okay, next up I am going to go ahead and contour while I still have this on here. And I don't have a new contour color at all, so I'm just going to go in with one that I've been using lately. It's from Makeup Forever. It's one of their artist face powders. I don't remember what they're called. And it's in here, the number's on the back, so I'll have to just put the number I use in the description box for you guys to check out, because I don't remember it off the top of my head. I think I'm just going to kind of skip over this really quickly, just because You guys have seen me all contour before. It's nothing new. Alright, moving on to one more new product. This is the Ebates Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores blush, and I think it's so pretty. I do think I've swatched this, but I haven't actually worn it. But just the color alone speaks to me. I love those shades that are kind of like a peachy tone, and this does have like a gold reflect in it, and those kind of shades just are so, ooh, there's lots of powder, so be careful. But those kind of shades really speak to me. I don't feel like there's a lot of pigmentation here. So it's a very subtle blush. As you can see, it is giving me a nice little sheen there that's different from my other side that don't have it. But pigmentation wise, it's very light, and it's kicking up a lot of, maybe I need a different brush. This is just the brush I always use with my blushes. So I kind of, I feel like you're getting more of that gold color rather than the pinky, the peachy tone. So it's very subtle. That kind of disappoints me a little bit. It might not to some of you. Some of you guys probably like a more subtle blush, but I'm like someone who really packs on my blush, and then when I go and clean up my face, same thing like I do with my eyes, I kind of blend it out a little bit more. So I feel like once I do that, my blush might be worn away a little bit. I don't know. Or maybe it's just I need to just be subtle with my blush anyways. I always go ham on my blush, but yeah. I can see it a little bit better in person, but on the camera for sure I feel like you don't barely see any color. So that's a little bit disappointing to me. Alright, and I don't know if there's going to be other shades or not, or if there is other shades or not, but this is the shade Sweet Cheek. So, I don't know. I'm a little bit about it. So anyways, now I'm going to go ahead and go, like I said, I always do, and do a little bit of cleanup. So I'm just going to take that sponge with some of that powder and just kind of do this. And usually if there's any of this worn away, I'd go back in over here. And then I go in with my Duo Fiber Brush from Beauty Junkies, and then I wipe away all that powder that has been sitting there. And here's where I kind of do my cleanup. I feel like when I do this, like, it helps if I ever go like too ham on my blush, too ham on my contour. Why is that a phrase, like going ham? I don't know. I don't even know why I'm saying it. But anyways, if I go too much with anything, doing this helps me really kind of clean up and get more of a crisp, clean line and looks. And tone down anything that just needed to be really blended in and blended out. So that's what we have so far, and I feel like I barely have any color on my face, like barely any blush at all. Okay, and so then before I do highlight, I'm gonna spray my face. I'm gonna be using one of my favorites. This is the Pixie Beauty Fixing Mist, their rose water mist. I love this stuff. And I really love to completely just douse my face in this. I feel like if I've ever gone too heavy on my powders, which, hello, I always do, this really helps meld those powders into my skin, or kind of like absorb any excess and all that good stuff. Alright, now that my face has dried from the Stat setting spray, I'm going to go in with highlight, and I'm going to be using this, which is another new-ish product from Gerard Cosmetics. It's not new in the sense that it's a brand new product, because they've always had these highlighters. These are their Star Powder highlights, but it's new in the sense that you can get it in this little mini palette. It's adorable, with 3 shades, Grace, Marilyn, and Lucy. I do have one of their full size in the shade Marilyn. It is one of my favorites. I use it a lot. That is this middle shade right here. This one is Lucy, and this one is Grace, and I don't think this will do well as a highlight for me. It probably would be something more of an eyeshadow for me, so I'm going to to go ahead and use gray since that's the same shade that I used with this as a liquid highlight, which now that I put powder on has somewhat diminished, so it might seem a little bit extreme to be doing so many layers of highlight and different things, but it is what it is. I don't know why we do these things, we just do them. So I'm going to go in with that, and for anyone curious, I do actually have an affiliate code with Gerard Cosmetics, and that is Agape, and I think it gets you 30% off. Ooh, so pretty. I'll put that code and any other code I have, because I have one with NBA Cosmetics as well. I'll put it in the description box. I feel like this looks so weird without like my blush showing through. Like I feel like I need more blush. This is crazy. And I don't know if I mentioned, because I'm just so scatterbrained right now, it's no wonder I started doing voiceovers, because I'm crazy when I'm trying to like talk and do my makeup at the same time. Apparently I cannot concentrate. But this is part of their holiday collection, or their new products for their holiday line that they just came out with. They also came out with some new glitter lipsticks, which I do already have a swatch video of those up on my channel, which I will link as well for you guys if you want to check out and hear my thoughts on those. Alright, so that is it for my face. I'm just going to go back in over this because I put a little bit too much right there. And now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my eyes. I'm going to put on mascara. Which actually I don't think I'm going to do on camera. I'm going to put on mascara and I'm going to put on some lashes, and I'll just be back because none of those are new products. I'll just finish this look and be back for the lips. Alright, now that my lashes are on, we're about to wrap up this look. I'm going to go back in now with that It Cosmetics Brow Pomade Gel, and I already can tell that I'm going to like the little wand. I like those little wands that get really precise on your brows. And I'm the type who really likes a brow gel that makes my brows stiff and stay in place really well, like the Anastasia brow gel and the one from That Brow Gal, or the Brow Gal. I really like those types of gels. I don't know what kind this is going to be like, so we'll have to see after some time. But I'd love to know your guys' preference for a brow gel. I was actually surprised to find out that some people like their brows like softer, their brow gels to be soft and not make their brows stiff. Which I don't know why that's surprising, but to me I just feel like if I want my brows to be in place, I want to know they're like locked in place and not budging at all. So I won't be able to tell what this is. I don't know if I'm liking the way this is applying on this brow. It feels like it's putting too much product down, which is weird. I thought I would like it with a tiny brush, but I don't know. I'm feeling like a lot of the products I've tried from It Cosmetics are a little bit of a fail, sadly, because normally I love It Cosmetics and all of their products. Almost all their products, I should say. I don't always like all their products, but I do not know what the heck this is doing. It's kind of clumping some of my brow hairs together, and I'm not liking that. So we are gonna have to see for sure, like once this dries, how it feels. But I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I might not like these products, and that's kind of sad to me. But okay, let's go ahead and move along for lip products now. I got this cute, look how cute this is, this giant, I was gonna say little ornament, but it's not, it's a big ornament from Makeup Forever, and so I just got this a few days ago as well, and this came with, it opens up like this, like an Easter egg, and it came with 2 new metallic lip glosses, and these are limited edition glosses, and I do have the little sheet right here. I'm sorry I didn't have any of the other makeup product information sheets by me, but I just happen to have this here, and there will be 3 shades. I did get 2 of them, so I can't demo the other one for you, but these are limited edition glosses. They're going to be $20, and I got 2 of the shades, taupe and then purple, and then they're also going to have one that's called praline. It looks more like this. So I'm just thought, since it's brand new, I'm going to demo it. I don't really think these are really going to look that great with this look, so I'll probably end up taking this gloss off and putting something else on, but I just want to try them because I haven't yet. The wands are really, really neat. They look like this. I'll have to zoom you guys in so you can see, but it's like a very flat tip. It's kind of got like a little hook here. I'm guessing to keep some product or maybe help disperse it and spread it maybe. And I don't know, we'll see how these apply, and I'm gonna go ahead and just try both of them on so we can see how they look. So if you guys end up wanting to purchase them, you have an idea of what they look like swatched on someone's lips. So I'm gonna go ahead and try on the shade 102, which is the taupe shade first. Ooh, that's really pretty. So it glides on very opaque. And I like how the wand's very thin and flexible. Not so much for the top, the upper lip. I feel like it's too flexible for up there. Like not allowing me to get a precise application. Okay, it took a little extra care, but I was able to get a nice clean application, and this is actually really, really pretty. It feels pretty comfortable, has a little bit of stick to it, but not too bad at all. And what's really interesting, I'm like super intrigued by this gloss because it almost looks like a metallic matte liquid lipstick. Like it almost has that matte metallic look. I know that sounds like it doesn't make sense, but anyone who has a metallic liquid lipstick, this kind of has that same look to it, only it's a gloss, so it's, you don't have that drying feeling. I'm loving how opaque this looks. So it's actually really, really pretty. I'm not sure longevity how these will wear, but I'll have to wear them on another day and give you guys an update. I'll probably maybe put that in the description box, or if you remind me, ask me in a comment and I'll try to reply. Okay, so I'm going to move on and try the purple shade. Okay, at first I was really liking the flexible one, but I don't know. Now I'm not so sure. This is a really pretty color though. I definitely think the other shade goes a lot better with this lip than this lip gloss does, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it here, and this is going to be the end of the video, because we are done with all the new products that I have, or at least most of the new products that I've gotten, and I'm done with my look. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it was a long one. I know it was a little bit chaotic and crazy, but I do hope you guys enjoyed taking this journey with me and just chatting with me. And you know, I don't do these videos often because I know a lot of people like the very quick videos, but sometimes it is nice for me to just sit and chat and talk makeup and be raw and real with you guys on camera, and you know, have you guys go along with the journey with me. I hope you guys enjoyed my first impressions on these products and just creating this look with the new products that I've gotten recently and hearing my thoughts on them right away as I use them. And if you have any questions about any of the products, any questions about what I feel about them later on, because obviously I won't upload this video today. I'm going to take some time to obviously edit it and stuff before it goes live for you guys to see. So I might have some more thoughts on these products by then. So please don't hesitate to ask and leave a comment. Be sure to check the description box. I'm going to go ahead and just leave all the information for all the products I use, prices, links, all that kind of stuff there for your convenience to check out. Now I also do plan to do another video using the other new Urban Decay eyeshadow palette they just came out with. They've been just like this, coming out with products and palettes that I can hardly keep up. But since I just got that in the mail and I thought it would be just a good idea to do a first impressions, I really wanted to do this video first. But I do still plan to do the Heavy Metals palette, a look with that for you guys. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And if you have any requests at all from me, let me know. I'd love to hear from you and hear what you guys want to see from me in the future. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment letting me know your thoughts. If you absolutely hate these videos and don't like when I do long videos and you know, don't really appreciate the longy chatty videos, you could let me know for sure, and I will just kind of scrap that. But if you do enjoy them, maybe I'll throw them in there here and there, you know, and hopefully you get something out of it. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and stop rambling and in this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, you babes.